Hey everybody, I know that it's been a while. To be fair, I did film a couple videos, but for me I just feel like I'm very specific about the content that I upload. Has to be of quality. The videos were not of quality, they had to go in the bin. That's just it. But I'm back because, as always, I saw something that really strung a chord in my heart, yeah. And okay, let me just put it like this. I feel like as time has gone on, I've realized more and more the path that I want my channel to go on, and I think that the videos that I'm coming out with in the following weeks will reflect that. And I'm a bit nervous because you don't know that the content I make is not generic, but and that kind of makes me nervous sometimes. But I'm just grateful for everyone that's been supporting me so far. Anyway, let me tell you guys what's happened, right? That's even triggered me to make this video today. So I was scrolling on the TL, as you do. You don't know, I just be scrolling, man. And I came across an article, and the article was basically talking about George the Poet rejecting his MBE. So if you don't know, George the Poet is, I would say he's a poet and a spoken word artist. I first heard about him when I was in like year 10. Yeah, he was on Krypton Conan's mixtape. So he was offered an MBE and he rejected it. And I know some of you guys, whenever I bring it up to some of my friends, they don't actually know what an MBE is. So I'm going to break it down for you guys now so you can get the drift of what I'm saying. So I've googled it, and it says that an MBE is a British order of chivalry rewarding contributions to the arts and sciences, work with charitable and welfare organisations, and public service outside the civil service. So I don't know if you've seen it before, but sometimes the Queen will, if you've done something notable in your field, like the fields I just mentioned, the Queen will, she takes one sword like this here, she puts it on your left shoulder, your right shoulder, and you become a lady, a lord, and you get a small medal. Wiley has one, I will insert the picture. And some notable people that have actually received an MBE are Twiggy, she's a model, Adele has one, Ed Sheeran has one. So it's something of high esteem. It's a great award to receive, right? On the surface, it seems like such a lovely, I mean, an MBE. Wow, thank you very much, Lizzie. My guy Lizzie, I appreciate that. So for George to reject it, I started to think like, wow, that's quite interesting. And I decided to dig deeper. So I did a bit of research into George's specific reasons for rejecting it, and they were mainly to do with colonialism, the history of the British Empire, because the MBE actually stands for Member of the British Empire. So what you're telling me, yeah, when I accept that award, what it's saying is that I'm now a member of the British Empire, because you could just be a citizen of the UK. Yes, okay, cool. No. The Queen has not said, in fact, because you've done so well in this field, take this. I just have to be frank with you. I never thought of this before, yeah. But when I read the article, I said, yes, I also have to reject it. I also must reject it, to be frank with you. But the fact that he rejected it just made me think he was so brave and more. You see, everyone can say that they'll do one thing, yeah. But for you to actually say no to the Queen, or try not to suffer Queen, but I don't want what you have to give me. Go get out. Go get off my lawn. That's what you're telling the Queen. So even though I'm gonna list all the reasons why I personally would reject it, I have to give the guy some ratings, because to me that's crazy. I think that what happens with most second generation or first generation immigrant children, we identify with British culture as much as we do our parents' culture. So for example, with me, I definitely identify as British, definitely a Londoner, and I think that a lot of my liberal views, some of my religious views stem from that. But at the same time, I still regard myself very much Nigerian because of my language, my culture. That's just who I am, you know, inside. You know, like, you don't know I'm a freshie, like. Even without knowing the specifics of colonialism, you can look at some Nigerians, for example, they will have British surnames, and you're just thinking like, how is this possible? Guys, follow me on this, yeah. Deep it. We write Yoruba in English language, deep in English alphabet. Deep what I'm saying. In China, yeah, when they write Mandarin with their own alphabet. Follow me, guys, don't scream. Think about what I'm saying, yeah. When you write Yoruba, you write it with A, B, C, D, E. And I'm thinking to myself, did our forefathers used to use A, B, C, D, E? I don't get it. Even till today, listen, let me tell you something right now. people that even live in Nigeria, we don't speak our language. We don't know anything about, we are just used, if it's short, we don't know anything, yeah. All we know about is P Diddy, Lil Wayne, Queen Elizabeth. We know very limited information about our own culture. That's just on the surface level. When we now look at the actual ills of colonialism, what does it mean to colonize a country? Let me tell you something right now. In my course, I'm studying a module on slavery, and where we are right now in the course is how it transitioned from slavery to colonialism. Everyone knows about the slave trade and all that stuff. So all these countries, Belgium, UK, they now said, all right, let's abolish this stuff. It's inhumane. We need to change. They said, yeah, let's have some conferences. All their conferences proved to be futile. So eventually they decided to have, I believe it was the Berlin Conference. If I'm wrong, please correct me. They decided to have the Berlin Conference. You'd think that, yes, at this Berlin Conference, what they're going to discuss is how we're going to stop the slave trade and let Africa be free. Do you know what these men did? They did what is called the scramble for Africa. So instead of just saying we're going to abolish slavery and leave these people to live their own lives, what they decided to do is now say, okay, so now I'm feeling hungry, let's divide this continent. Belgium, take this. France, you man, take that. UK, you want some? You can get some. Is it my continent that you're dividing like chips and burger? I would leave them to the ancestors. That's just it. I will leave them to the ancestors. I will leave them in the hands of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. They're gonna face the consequences of that. You split our countries up like this. You come into the countries, take the resources, destroy the political systems, you destroy the culture, the traditions. I think people think that stuff like speaking your language is like a thing by the way, but there's so much that comes with that. Yeah, I feel like if I didn't speak Yoruba, there would be so much about my culture that I wouldn't know. But when I look at the effects that I've just basically listed out, I personally just believe that Africa as a whole, well, to be honest, I believe that it's a fact. Africa as a whole would be so much further than it is right now if not for colonialism and all these greedy Oyens trying to take the things them. And I just feel like it would be hypocritical of me to sit here and be talking about pro-blackness and Africa progressing and moving forward, but I will still call myself a member of the British Empire. I think one thing I've learned in my course as well is the theory of classical realism, which is basically like all these countries, they want to be the superpower, they want to be number one. That's why America will go and invade Iraq and Afghanistan, because they just want to be number one. They want to be the country that all of us will be begging, please can I have some money? That's what they want, innit? So in order for them to do that, they have to still kill and destroy. And what does that? The devil. Thank you. I think my case is closed here. It's just because on paper we're no longer colonized. I'm sure because of all the reasons I've just listed, you'll see that we still are. And I feel like I just cannot be a part of an institution that perpetuates that till today. And even apart from what they did to Africa, what they're doing to black people today, I have to say, Stormzy and Dave are my older brothers. I don't really give a damn what you lot think. Stormzy knows me. In fact, it's even Stormzy Bawoni. Mon film lo so baby bada. Thanks, bro. That was Stormzy on the line. I really appreciate them because I feel like because of them I have a lot of courage to come here. I mean, I was always gonna talk the things, to be honest with you, but now I have even more oomph to push forward. If you're a black person and you accepted the MBE, everyone has their own reasons for doing that. At the end of the day, everyone has their own path that they're following in this life. But for me, I feel like my ancestors, yeah, if I should say thank you, Queen Lizzie, I will wear that badge. My ancestors will be looking at me, but this girl, you're playing with us, you know. Even Jesus Christ will be looking at me, but I don't think you're making the right decision here, love. I think that for me to change my mind on this topic and for me to accept an MBE, realistically, I'm not sure that there's anything that will actually occur that will make me change my mind. However, I feel like first of all, Britain will need to take responsibility for all the transgenerational trauma that they've caused. And I think that reparations would be a good place to start. If they happen, those are steps in the right direction. I remember in sixth form, my friend was doing research because I did the IB. Y'all know, IB is not for, it's harder than A levels, period. And my friend was doing some research and she was telling me how in the Ivory Coast they still have to pay tax to France and the justification for that is that France have built hospitals and schools and whatnot. If
if I was Ivorian, yeah, why did I ask you to force yourself on my country? I'm giving you tax. So let me just get this straight. I borrowed a book from you, yeah? You, the viewer, I borrowed your book. I now scattered the book. I ripped it. I tattered it. I've now taken it to the book repair shop. They've repaired it for me. I'm now telling you that you have to pay me for repairing the book, even though I scattered it. The sad thing is that some people genuinely believe that without colonialism, Africa was uncivilized. You know, anyway, I'm not even here to argue with any racist person. If you're racist, you can get off my lawn. I don't really give a toss. I feel that I have a lot of pride in being British, being a Londoner. I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had living in this country, my education, things like healthcare, like everything basically that I'm offered here. But I cannot, because of that, negate the negative impacts of colonialism on my other culture, which is Nigerian African. And I know that a lot of second generation immigrants, as I mentioned before, share the same what's the word, share the same, you know the word I'm trying to say. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Today I'm wearing a Ojali from Pink's collection. I don't have favorites, but they are my most worn. All the sharing, thank you for staying subscribed. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next video.